Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is December 4th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see our force field is still up here across the west coast of North America. Our big ridge of high pressure still dominating the weather for the most part, but it's created some foggy conditions across some of the valley areas. Decaying system moving up towards the Pacific Northwest is shown here, but what's interesting for California is the extended forecast. We're going to dive into that in some detail, but it looks like we may be getting a pattern change as we go on through the upcoming week next week, and we'll dive into that here in a bit in a moment. Taking a look at where we are right now with the visible satellite imagery, let me update that, and we'll go ahead and see that we don't have too much fog. There is some foggy areas out there across some of the San Joaquin and the Sacramento Valley. And there is some of the marine layer in towards Southern California, up and down the Central Coast, just right on the immediate coastal areas there. But otherwise, you can kind of see the snow on the higher elevation of the Sierra Nevada on the GOES 18 satellite imagery. So yeah, fun stuff there. But still, we're pretty quiet across the region. You can see we're not dealing with any storm reports or anything. I've got Arizona, California, Nevada selected, and not much is going on, as you saw in the infrared satellite imagery. So we've got some freezing fog potential out there towards Reno and some portions of Northeast California. And again, there's some dense fog advisories, but it didn't look too widespread. There's actually a short-term forecast there for Eureka. What is that? Looks like that has expired. So now taking a look at some of Merced, Fresno, Firebaugh, and Hanford, Bakersfield, there is that dense fog advisory. And that's going to be going on for the next few days as well. And it kind of shows up best here. As I look at the relative humidity on the North American high-resolution model, you can see the outline of the valley there, and you can see the higher relative humidity this morning. And of course, you got the higher terrain, some of the desert areas across southeast California, and you can see Nevada here and portions of western Arizona. So as we scroll on in through the morning, you can see how the relative humidities, lower a bit there, but then they rise back up as we go on in through Thursday morning. Again, some fog development will be possible with that. And then as we go into Friday morning, again, you can kind of see that fog redevelop in the morning hours. And then we scroll on into Friday afternoon, and then looks like we go back into Friday afternoon is when this model run ends. But yeah, we have a few more days here at least of this foggy regime before we start to change things up a little bit. And I just want to kind of run through this here really quick. You can see we're not dealing with strong winds across the area. There is some offshore component here, but mainly across a lot of the valley areas, the wind is quite light. There is some stronger winds on the coastal areas there as well, and some northerlies. Could be brisk at times. Watch out if you're going back and forth on some of the interstates there. That is a crosswind for a lot of the areas, especially as we go through Friday morning. Now, looking at daily max 2-meter temperature, as we go on in towards this weekend and next week, you can kind of see the cool down coming here a little bit. So that's going to drop the temperatures here as we go towards Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday coming up, as we kind of get this inside slider that's really moisture starved. Doesn't look like it's bringing much precipitation to California, although there is a chance for a little bit of snowfall for some of the higher terrain as that system passes by. I'll show you that here in a moment. But if we look at the daily 2-meter min, you can kind of see something similar as we go through Monday, Tuesday, that cooler air mass moving across some of the Intermountain West. Now, taking a look out across the Pacific Ocean, this is last night's European artificial intelligence run. We're looking at 39,000 feet. There's the jet stream. Japan is to the left. There's the Hawaiian Islands, and there is the state of California. And you can see our ridge here across much of the west coast of North America. So as we scroll on in through the upcoming days, we do get this system moving down across the Pacific Northwest, and that's what's going to bring that very weak inside slider here. Again, very moisture starved, not expecting much precipitation with that. A little bit of a transient ridge, but then we start to switch things up a little bit more. You can see a little bit of a trough moving through here. The jet stream flattens out and becomes a little bit more zonal, and we do get some more troughing showing up as we go on in through the following week. So that's what we're watching here in a moment. I'll show you more on those details starting right now with the artificial intelligence. We're zoomed in a little bit here. There's the state of California, Hawaiian Islands to the bottom left. So here goes the system through the Pacific Northwest, and you can see maybe clipping northern portions. That cooler air mass drops down across the region. Wouldn't be surprised if that kicked off a few showers across maybe some of the Cascades of California, Sierra Nevada as that moved by, but not much to write home about. And then we go off into the future, and we got some more interesting weather starting to develop here. You can see this trough dropping down the west coast of North America. Could start to bring some precipitation. We're not going to get too much into these details, but just kind of giving you the overall gist of things. It looks like we may start to get a bit more active as we go towards the mid portion of the month. That would be quite an interesting system here as well. And then who knows what would come after that. But if we take a look at the GFS, this is 12Z. This is hot off the presses. This morning's run. Let's put this into motion. And First of all, let's take a look at that system that drops down across the Intermountain West. Looks like it does clip a little bit of Northern California there, and then that cooler air mass moves down across the Intermountain West here, and then we wait. We're still dry as we head on in towards next week. I mean, we're looking at 180 hours out, so we're kind of grasping at straws here, but the GFS does start to bring that active weather back in towards the West Coast as we go through the 12th and the 13th. Some interesting systems showing up again on the GFS. So yeah, that would be some fun stuff here. But again, this is so far out. We are simply grasping at straws at this point. We have to wait till we get a little bit closer before we start to get too excited about that. If we take a look at yesterday afternoon's European run, this is the system coming through this weekend. Does clip some of northern portions of California again, but then we wait and try to see what's coming as we go through the extended. And the European wants to bring some very interesting systems back into the state of California, but again, way off into the extended forecast. Just fantasy right now. But it's nice to see the model showing that pattern change coming. This is the European 10-day precipitation anomaly. You can kind of see that in the last night or yesterday afternoon's deterministic run here. Some above average starting to show up again here. So thumbs up for that. Here's the 6 to 10 day. Still has that below normal here, but we'll see if this changes upcoming. 8 to 14 day, kind of backing off on the below a little bit. Maybe we'll start to get that pattern change in here through the mid portion of the month. So anyway, it's nice to see that in the models, but it's still a ways out. So keep checking back daily. We'll keep breaking things down and see what kind of consistency we can get in the weather models upcoming here. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having a good day. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.